I show. Welcome, testing. Great. Welcome to another edition of the Current Affairs program with Pan-Africanism. You are watching Voice of London Television with a feed to Voice of London Radio and all our affiliate radio and television stations across the globe. We are going to be discussing the latest current affairs that is taking place internationally, and then we'll be looking or dribbling our way back to the motherland in Africa. And that's when we'll be titrating, analyzing, and looking into issues in total. My name is Nana Osagyefo. Once again, welcome aboard the diasporan ship from the hearts of London. My colleagues will be joining me. My special guests will all be joining me, especially my reporters from the motherland will be joining me filing special reports for this particular edition. We'll also be talking to our special guests, experts in some of the topics that we'll be discussing. The issue is to have a world and global peace. So let's go straight away and look at some of our leading world news. But let me start from the European angle. Yes, if you don't know, get to know. My name is Nana. Let me welcome my social media handles. I've already got special guests on the handles already. All of you welcome. Let me welcome Sabrina. How are you, Sabrina? Yes, King Dino. We have Carrots also join us. We have Beverly Smith, Rose Frimpoma. Rose Frimpoma, welcome to the show. Yadawasi Bebre, Savannah Love, Macy. All of you are welcome. Mr. Kofi, welcoming you. We have Shrina Diamonds. We have KK join us. We also have Man Mountain. We have Michael Foster and many of you that have joined us. We really, really appreciate all of you. Evelyn Abaka, what can I say? Margaret, join us. Erica, Annie Gold. It's going to be a fantastic program. This is your leading current affairs program, speaking truth to power. Umpewe na opeden. All right, so let's go straight and look at some of our European news items. Quickly, the international news from the European angle before I go speak to my reporters. High stakes but low expectations for Ukraine talks with Russia and the United States of America. This is one of the headlines coming from our international news decks. And of course, we all know the Ukraine and Russian war is ongoing. The latest attempt to forge a peace deal is undergoing, and we'll be updating you who are my great fervent listeners and audiences worldwide. Anything that comes or becomes fruitful, we'll definitely update you. All right, then the Spanish track was fractured before high-speed train disaster. So this is a disaster from Spain, and it's a Spanish train disaster. Let's take a brief summary from that. A fracture in a straight section of track occurred prior to the passage of a high-speed train that derailed, costing last Sunday's rail disaster, in which 45 people died, an initial report has said. So a train disaster in the Spanish country. Still looking at the headlines from the international news decks, Danish Prime Minister in Greenland for show of support after Trump threats. So we all know about the Greenland issue, where the President of the United States, the President Donald Trump, has threatened to capture Greenland amid uproar across the whole European countries and some of the countries across the globe. So let's take a cue. We have Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen is visiting Greenland's capital Nuuk for talks with the territory's leader, Jens Frederik Nielsen, after a roller coaster week that saw United States President Donald Trump roll back his threat to forcibly take over the Arctic island and agree to further negotiations. So there we go, President Donald Trump calming down a bit amid the threats to take over Greenland. Yes. And so that's another headline from our international news decks. Let's take another interesting story. Yes, this one is from, well, I've got a lot of the Greenland stories, but I need to look at France. Okay, there's a story of France seizing a suspected Russian shadow fleet tanker. So this another story comes from our international news decks, just to keep our audiences worldwide abreast with events happening across the globe. French President Emmanuel Macron said the tanker named the Grinch was subject to international sanctions and suspected of flying a false flag. The French Navy, with the assistance of allies, including the UK, boarded the vessel on Thursday morning between Spain and Morocco. French maritime authorities said that a search on the vessel had confirmed the doubt as to the irregularity of the flag. Okay, so there you go. Some of the news coming from the international news decks. And then moving on, we have a German nurse jailed for murders that could be linked to more than 100 deaths. Of course, that's coming from Germany. And then we have, let me take one more story from the international news desk, and then we can cross over to the motherland in Africa, and then take a gist from there. And then we can also link up with our reporters who will be bringing us the live news, and then we'll be speaking with our other colleague experts as well. So We have Spanish prosecutors dismiss Julio Iglesias sex assault allegations. So we all know who Julio Iglesias is. Top musician, top songwriter, top singer, and of no means repute. Of course, I made all these sex allegations, but obviously he has been cleared. All right, great stuff. So let's go straight to Africa and take one or two stories from there. Right, from South Africa, President Mandela's prison key, sunglasses, and shirt can be sold after daughter wins court battle. So that's coming from South Africa. And then going to the Somaliland, we have Somaliland president pitches business opportunities to Trump's son. Well, we all know the controversial Somaliland being declared as a country. The latest updates will definitely be giving it to you right here on the Voice of London Television. Let's take another headline from South Sudan. South Sudan Army Chief gives soldiers 7 days to crush rebellion. And going to Nigeria, blood was all over victims of Nigerian church abduction, describes escapee. And so we know that Nigeria has been faced with armed bandits that have been abducting Christians amid that initial U.S. bombing of the northern part of Nigeria. That also caused a bit of an uproar. So it seems that it's still been going on. Okay, that hasn't been kept yet. We'll be updating you if something new comes up. Excuse me. Let's look at Uganda. We had the Uganda just ended elections. We have Ugandan MP and Bobby Wine ally arrested over election violence. And we know Bobby Wine is a musician, and he was also the opposition, top opposition leader against Museveni, who has won the presidency. Yes. And let's go straight and let's see what happened with the just ended. Congratulations, I would like to say, to Senegal for winning the African Cup of Nations. The 20, well, okay, so this is the African Cup of Nations. There were chaotic scenes at the end of regulation time in the final when the award of a penalty to Morocco sparked a walk-off from Senegal and led to a delay of over 16 minutes before Brahim Diaz had his Panenka attempt saved. And thereafter, during the extra time, we all saw Senegal scoring a goal and eventually winning the African Cup of Nations. Of course, there's a lot to do with this African Cup of Nations. Probably I'll speak to my panelists when we pick up our reports. And so let me go straight quickly once again to thank my social media partners who have joined me once again. Evelyn Abaka, yes, thank you. Continue to support the program. Lady Regina, thank you. Janet, thank you. Mama Tina, we thank you so much. We have Nation also join us. We thank you. Right, that's how we like to do it right here. So many of you. Joyce Juan Kitea join us. Sometimes the names I have in Enekia. Thank you so much for joining us. Tricia also join us. All right, let me go and welcome my learned colleagues and reporters. Yes. So first of all, let me welcome my own learned colleague in the person of Godfrey Asante Eddie. Godfrey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nana, for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. And those of us in the diaspora, we appreciate you so much for your sacrifices and always making sure you are there for us. Okay, let's go straight and welcome our learned colleague in the person of Teddy Amofa. Teddy, welcome to the show. Teddy, you've got to unmute yourself. Okay, let's go to John Mensah, Dr. John Mensah. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to meet you once again and to share my knowledge with you.
What can I say? We love you so much, John. We love you. And we miss you last time because we wanted really to hear your important views. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us, Dr. John Mensah.
Okay, sir.
All right. Teddy Amofa, my very
Yes, sir.
colleague. How are you, sir?
Fine. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you.
Great.
How was your day?
Well, not too much as usual, you know. Once after the festivities, you know already, we had to rush, catch the trains in and out as usual.
You tell me.
Exactly. I mean, the driving in the city of London or Greater London has become very expensive, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. All right. So we had Nanama. Nanama, I think we lost her because of the network, but very shortly we're going to pick her up again and then we're going to be moving on. Okay, but let's go straight and speak to Godfrey. Godfrey Asante Eje. Godfrey, how are you? And what have you got for us, Godfrey?
Thank you very much for having me, Nana. I'm
Yes.
also sending my greetings to my other colleagues, Dr. Teddy. As for Teddy, I think we met last week. It's only the doctor that it's my first time, speaking to him this year. So I would say official part to him.
That's I think come to you.
Thank you. Nana, there's a lot happening in this country. There are so many stories, but let me start from the presidency. President of the Republic, that's President John Dramani Mahama. And we are all aware about Boko issue. There was so many chaos for the past 10 years at Boko. So President, in his wisdom, called on Otumfuo Osei the Asante-Hene, to in fact have some solution to Boko issues.
Yeah.
And there was a report sent to the president, and through the report, what Otumfuo Asante-Hene said, or the recommendation, that's what the president did. And in fact, for the past weeks, we can all see there's a calm at Boko. So right. Due to that, president has hailed the military for restoring calm in Boko and other areas. In fact, president made this statement when he was just cutting. It was a sword cutting to. In fact, there was a project, accommodation project for the military. That's where the president said, hailing the military for their good job done. In fact, he also present vehicles to the military to also help them in their daily activities. So Nana, this is one of the story coming from the presidency. Nana, there is another story. Let me go to the New Patriotic Party. 31st of this month, there is going to be a election in the party, who to lead the MPP in the coming general election. And the IGP this week has spoken. And in fact, there was a P part signed by this all the 5 candidates for the New Patriotic Party. And IGP has assured them that every polling station, at least there will be a 70 police officer to take in charge of this election, because he believes they will not, let me put it this way, they will not accept any violence at this coming election for this MPP general election. So Nana, these are one of the stories. In fact, he was just advising them to how the police is ready to battle anything, because Nana, our election, both in-house election and in general election, always turn out to be violent. So the police has assured us that there will be a total peace. That's what they are saying. Nana, let me also, last week we had a discussion about GPRT issues with government concerning outrageous fare charge to passengers. This week there was a task force, but for the past 2 days, that's Wednesday, Thursday. Today I was somewhere, so I didn't even see them. I think the task force has stopped working. In fact, Nana, as I said last week, these truck drivers are using. They are. I don't know how to put it. They are the normal fare that is supposed to charge a passenger. That's not what they are what doing, because there was a comply or directive from the GPRA to act for these transport operators to charge. There's a certain fee to charge when you board this truck to your various places, but these transport operators or these drivers were not complying with the directive. They were just charging anything that they feel like, and the government was very mad about that. So government and together with the GPRT decided to, in fact, instruct these military officers and other task forces to ensure that the drivers will charge the normal fare that they're supposed to. But it looks like the exercise, I don't know. I'm trying to find out the reason why these military officers and the police officers have stopped visiting our roadside to ensure that the drivers comply with this directives. Nana, Nana, let me also go to this story. Ghana police. Last week we were just discussing about fraud issues and other stuff. The police has arrested 3 foreign nationals in alleged SIM box fraud. These Nigerians and other foreign nationals, that's what they have been doing. You'll be there, then a call will come that have sent you a money, so it's mistakenly sent, so try and resend it back. This week, I even experienced that, but the person didn't know that I'm aware of all these things. So I told him that when the MTN started using the token whereby someone will send you, at first, that's what they were doing. At first, when someone sends you a money, the person has to send you a token number for you to use the same token number to withdraw. So he was just asking me, I should just, whether I've seen the token. I said, Master, what are you telling me? When did the MTN started using this? I said, for has free work. They were all laughing at it. So Nana, this is one of the stories. And Nana, there's another story that the general public and even Ghanaians living the diaspora also have much interest in. That's our legend musician, Charles Osagyefo, popularly known as Daddy Lumba. And I think you are all aware about the issues surrounding Charles Osagyefo after his demands. There's one question that people were asking, whether the legend or the late musician left any will or not. This was a question so many Ghanaians were asking, because his wife was here last 2 weeks ago, and he went to Kumasi High Court to file for letter of administration so that he can able to manage the property of her late husband. So people were view that whether the man left will or not. So Accra High Court has come out to answer all these questions, and it has raised a lot of concerns in the social media, and I think you are also aware of it. because I'm having the statement. Accra High Court has come out saying that the late musician did not left any will. So whoever saying that there's a will, unless maybe he comes out with it. But what I also known about law on the will, that when the person dies, after the demands of the person, it will take you 14 days, if only you believe there is a will. So I think the 14 days has expired and nobody went to court saying that Charles Osagyefo left a will and this is the will. So Nana, these are one or two stories that I can give it to my people or our listeners to also have their say on it, Nana.
All right, thank you so much. That was a report filed by our learned colleague, Godfrey Asante AJ. Thank you so much, Godfrey. We are so grateful. But before I get my learned colleagues interjecting, I would like to add one story that I think is imperative we add to this discussion. That is the president's visit to the World Economic Forum. Yes, people say Davos or Davos, whatever they call it. And the president actually made a speech which Obasanjo and other world leaders were really an excellent speech that everybody is talking about. But can Africa walk that talk by the president? All right, so
Nana, before you
go on.
Ask my other colleagues to come in, let me also add one story that it may concern you, because small time I know you'll be coming. The National Identification Authority has also, there's an increase in their fares. So if you are first time registration, there is a fee that you should be aware that the normal fee has been increased. So the National Identification Authority has increased their fare for Ghana card service. So if you are Ghanaian, you should also put in mind that the fees has changed. If you think it's 350 cedis and other stuff, it has changed. So Nana, this is one of the stories that I want to also add to it.
Okay, all right. So that would be the national ID card, yeah?
Yeah, Nana.
Okay, I got it. All right, so let's go straight to my learned colleague in the person of Teddy. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yes. Have you been following the Davos or the World Economic Forum meeting? And have you heard of the president's speech that was made over there? Aside him, whether you've heard any other thing or you've not been following?
Well, I took a glance. I've not been following, but I think I read somewhere about it. Yeah, I read somewhere about it.
So what do you say to Ghana's president's speech at the forum?
Well, I think it's the same old predictable thing that most Africans presidents do. Prepared a brilliant speech, and they are giving the accolades. But where does it end? Where does it end? Where does it end? We do the talk.
Yes.
We are giving the applause. I think it ends there. So that's my phrase, the predictable old story.
Okay, let me go to Dr. John Mensah. Welcome once again.
Okay, hello. Hello, thank you, and good evening.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to comment about Nigeria, the happenings in Nigeria. The US government says it wants to intervene in Nigeria to save Christians from being massacred by the Boko Haram.
Okay.
But sorry to my fellow Nigerians and fellow West Africans, it's unfortunate and very ironical that the very US government that is pretending to save Nigerians from Boko Haram and Islamic State are the very people behind Boko Haram and Islamic State. And I want to state emphatically that the Nigerians who are being killed, who are being murdered, are murdered by the very U.S. and the U.S. government, British, France, and the NATO alliance. They are very people killing the Muslims. Let me go back to in 2015,
But
2016.
how can you prove that, and why do you say that, sir? Because that's a very serious statement.
Yes. Okay. Good question. I'm come to give you the answer. In 2014, 2015, 2016, when the Boko Haram activities began under the president of Goodluck Jonathan, it mostly happened because the Goodluck Jonathan refused to sign some agreement with Shell that would give them complete monotony over Nigerian oil. And when it started, the Nigerian army is going to fight Boko Haram. The U.S. government deliberately was systematically ensure that it crippled Nigerians' army ability to be able to fight Boko Haram. What it did that it rather imposed sanctions on Nigeria, ban Nigeria for importing weapons. Why? Nigeria was the way the Nigerian was fighting Boko Haram. It contravened to human rights. What is the human rights in fighting rebels? And then there's a place called CATSA. CATSA is an abbreviation. It means Countering American Adversaries Through Sanction Act. And that sanction, if you deal with Russia or China, they put sanctions on you. So that sanction prevented the Nigerian army from buying ammunition to fight. You have the weapons, you might have the car, but you need the fuel, and the fuel for the weapon is the ammunition. So Nigerian government could not procure ammunition to fight because the US imposed sanctions on them. And they also blocked Nigeria from transferring money to Russia to buy ammunition. They had an agreement to meet Russian businessmen in South Africa to buy the weapons, and US hacked the mobile phone of Nigerian ministers to be able to trace them to stop that transaction in South Africa. Recently, according to a US Senate, when they had a meeting at the Senate, they said that they're contributing about $400 million to support Boko Haram activities in Nigeria. According to US Senate Parliament, per their data at the US Senate, they were sending money through USA to finance Boko Haram activities in Nigeria. So if Nigerian Christians are being killed, they are being killed by the foreign policy of the very US government. I didn't say that. They said it themselves.
Okay.
I think, you know what it is? They are now going after the orange-rich countries so that they can destroy those countries and destabilize them. When Gaddafi decided he will not sell the oil in dollars, they invaded. When Saddam Hussein said he will not sell oil in dollars, they invaded. I said it recently that they were planning to get Maduro out. If you recall, Nana, I said it on the platforms that they are planning to get Maduro out, and they have done it so that they can continue to sell oil in dollars. And they are planning a similar thing in Nigeria. If that happens, the whole West Africa.
All right, Doc, thank you for those points. We will have to, because it wasn't on our itinerary to discuss that tonight, we'll have to, I think, further discuss it over the weekend so that we can cross-check all the informations and we'll be able to have diverse views with regards to the points that you are making. Let me go to what's his name? Teddy. Teddy, have you got any views with what Dr. just said?
Well, I'll beg to differ.
Okay.
In the sense that if you have bandits kidnapping for money, I don't think that's political. I think this is thieves taking advantage over the system. Because the same thing happened in Somalia when the sea pirates, they were still stealing from sheep, kidnapping people from the sheep and all those things just for ransoms, and they were making so much money. And the bandits are going to make so much money from kidnapping. So I don't think the political undertones here it's questionable. So I think that the thieves, the moment the bandits come into play, I don't think that's political. That's my view.
Okay, thank you so much, my very learned friend, Dr. Mensah, and of course, Teddy, there with regards to the Nigerian Christian being kidnapped, and of course, the Maduro issue. But I'm sure next week we'll have proper time for those, because tonight it wasn't on our itinerary, like I said, and we need to look at all these issues because we are here to inform and, of course, educate and enlighten the masses. Now, let's look at the well. Oh, sorry about that. Go on. I thought maybe you wanted to be silent on that. Sorry about that. Godfrey, go on.
I just want to ask a question and also say something.
Okay, go on.
Is Nigeria a sovereignty country?
And who are you?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
It's a sovereign nation.
So why is U.S. president or Trump have so interest in invading their privacy? As
Yes,
our former president,
it's the oil.
Godfrey, I think they didn't invade. I think what happened, I stand to be corrected, that it was the Nigerian government that sought the American assistance.
That's what they will put out there.
No.
That's what they will put out there. But the reason why I said I wanted to say something is that you know what our former president said, Dr. Osagyefo. He said black man is capable of managing its own affairs. So it is the affairs of Nigerians. They should have ways and means to manage it. But I'm surprised, they as you said, the president of Nigeria have to, convince or talk to U.S. government to help him sort out this, because they know better. They know where these Boko Harams are, but I don't know why they decided to, given that. In fact, when I heard that story, I was very, very worried, because when Americans are doing this kind of bombing and other stuff, they don't care about anything. So if Nigeria is a sovereignty nation,
can I make a point here, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is the Nigerians in the diaspora, especially those in America, they lobbied that Christians are being butchered and they must do something about it.
I'm not saying that those Christians who have been butchered as a result of foreign policy by U.S. And according to the U.S. Senate, the U.S. government have been supporting the Boko Haram Al-Qaeda through U.S. aid. It's happening at the U.S. Senate. They decided at the U.S. Senate.
All right. So I think that's why I said that we need to have it on our itinerary so that we can look at it with supporting evidences as well, and also from both sides and both angles. So let's go to the World Economic Forum. Teddy has spoken, and let's go to Dr. John Mensah. Your views with the World Economic Forum. Any hope for Africa and the rest of the majority of the world?
Okay, with the World Economic Forum, I will start with the global, what we have financial architecture. Then before I come with the African position, the global financial architecture began with the Jews. John Rockefeller and the other guy, I've forgotten the other Jew, I've forgotten if you can recall. This guy, Rothschild, John Rockefeller, and the descendant of that family, they were able to actually engineer the global financial system. And they are Jews, and they actually cooperate with the U.S. government through the secret services. So they actually control the IMF, the World Bank, and the U.S. Treasury. And the U.S., through its military power, is being able to enforce other countries to actually use their currency, especially through oil, because the most traded commodity in this world is dollars, billions of dollars a day. And since their currency have become the world reserve currency, it implies the U.S. government can just print money and buy anything they want on this world for free. So they can take whatever I want for free. The government of Ghana can print only cedis, and cedis can be used in Ghana. So if government prints money and can buy food, you can print unlimited of it, but can be used in Ghana only. But the U.S. government can print money and buy anything they want anywhere in the world. So the U.S. global power over the whole world financial is because the currency is reserve currency in the world. And if the US should lose their global financial power, within 5 years, US will become like any ordinary country like Nigeria or UK or Italy, not any powerful country. And so the global financial system, at least Ghana and Africa, we are part of the global financial system. I've traveled to some countries in Asia, China, Japan, and some Middle East and a few European countries. And I realize when it comes to development and global financial system, you are not part of it. And even when it comes to what we saw the resources, it's the Western countries that controls it. For example, Alam land here, ExxonMobil. The U.S. president wants ExxonMobil to go to Venezuela to go and draw their crude oil. That's the reason why they invaded to get their president out. That same ExxonMobil is in Ghana, drilling Ghana's crude oil with UK BP. They take 90% of our crude oil and give us only 10%. If
Okay,
Mama
Doc.
or Kufuor decide to fight, they're going
Doc.
to kill him, just like they did to Venezuela.
Okay, Doc, that some salient points you are making, but I think we are digressing a bit.
Okay,
I wanted us to, yeah, I don't want us
okay.
to digress too far. I want us to
okay.
look at the statement
The president
President Mahama made with regards to Africa's role in the world at the World Economic Forum, and how the African can create its own staff, institutions, together with the rest of Africa. And he spoke about the Accra, what do we call it? The Accra Agenda, okay? The Accra Agenda, which is the reset, okay? And the reset, which he believes that the rest of Africa or the global south, when taken on board, will help the whole of the global south, and the global south can then have a leverage in dealing with the global north. And we know the global north is more developed than the global south. So I wanted to see whether with what the president of Ghana has said, the rest of Africa and the rest of the global south can walk the talk. And that is the question I'm putting to you.
Doc,
if I can finish.
Doc, you let me come in and you continue with.
Okay.
Nana, as a lot of Ghanaians or even other countries describing our president's speech as bold one. In fact, as my senior brother said, President called on African countries to boldly invest in skills and industrial capacity. Nana, sometimes I don't know. Is it that they try to write a good speech for other people to know that they can write or what? Because the same thing happened to a former president, that's Akufo-Addo, giving a nice speech and on the grounds. On the
Ghana
grounds.
Beyond Need. I remember Ghana Beyond Need.
Yeah. That's what Nana. That's what I'm seeing. Because before you can go out a forum like this and giving this kind of speech, you have to, because that's why we have ECOWAS and other you have to come together and plan on one thing. That's what Africans should do. Planning on one thing. Up to more than 30 years, common eco currency, we cannot even come up with it. But the Europeans are even come out with euros and other stuff. So I don't know whether writing a good speech or better speech, that is what they so that they will go, president has done well, this is a bold speech and other stuff. But please, we are begging our African leaders to at least walk the talk, rather than they be giving us a nice speech, we be clapping for them and other stuff, but later they just put all those speech somewhere and doing different thing.
All right. Doc,
I think you make the good points. Mahama spoke very well, eloquently, and bold speech. But giving eloquent speech and bold speech doesn't mean action or practicality. And as my colleagues Godfrey said, I think it has been a trend of African leaders. And
okay. All right.
Sometimes equate intelligence to talk, but his ability to get it implemented is the more difficult thing. Modern industries is good. That is what we give us the economic independence. That is what Nkrumah tried to achieve. But at the end of the day, the Western imperialists sabotage it. There's a deliberate agenda to make sure that we don't build industries. So he spoke very well. The Accra Reset agenda is a good plan. It will help us to actually alleviate poverty and improve upon our quality of living, process raw materials into finished good and add value to it. But it requires more effort and practicality. And this multi-party democracy also knows how to achieve that. Because he just have only 4 years. So that's it.
Okay. Now let's quickly let's all be brief with our submissions so that we can cover some of these important headlines. Okay, we have the Boku issue where Otumfuo had helped to resolve the Boku issue, but there were a few skirmishes and people coming out very dissatisfied. I mean, you cannot satisfy everybody in this world. Obviously, people will always have qualms with issues. Let me go straight with Teddy. What do you think about it? But before, Teddy, before you come in, which of the two four are we talking about? Because let me put this sense of humor in there. We had an Otumfuo guy trending. Is it that Otumfuo that went to the Boku to settle? Because there's some a sexual escapade clip trending on the social media. And so when Godfrey said Otumfuo, I was wondering, Godfrey, can you be specific with us, please? Okay, I think the network is going Godfrey. Let me go to Teddy. Teddy, have you seen the social media Otumfuo trending?
Well, the guy is a joker, isn't he? He's an attention seeker.
Such a person takes such a powerful name upon himself. Anyway, so what's your view in regards to the Boku peace that has been achieved by Otumfuo, and then yet some people are dissatisfied? What do you make out of it?
Well, I think those areas, it's not only that. If you remember when Kufuor was in power, I think, is it Rawlins took over. When Rawlins was living in Mahama, was it Kufuor? And when how do you call it? Kufuor was in power. Something still happened in the north, the Namumbas and all those things fighting. So I think that area is a bit. I think one has to look at the history before we can. I don't know the history, but I've been told most of them were how do you call it? Shepherds from neighboring countries settling, and there's always conflict between them and the indigenous people. So I think that's how. I think that's escalated for years.
Right.
And I really don't know whether. I hope the peace accord will be permanent and not resurface.
Okay. All right. John Mensah, you want to make a point with regards to the Boku thing?
Yeah, the whole conflict, I don't have much details about it, but I know that it's a history, it's related to history, which has been there in the past, but the keen attention was not given to it, and we had a serious crisis about it. But as to how they're able to get their ammunition and engage in the full military combat, I think that you have to be careful about it, because if you don't handle it, it might spread into something else.
Yeah.
We're also aware of bandits in our neighboring countries, so that the bandits will not use this as an opportunity to actually infiltrate and cause more harm. But Otumfuo, yeah, has been a mediator, and I think he has been able to let the two factions smoke the peace.
So let me go to yeah, Godfrey. You brought us that news. You want to add anything to it?
No, the only thing I will add to it that as president said today, in fact, I think security issues should still be intact, because these people they can do anything at the time. So
Okay.
since now that there's a peace, I think the security system should still be intact so that at least we can still enjoy the peace we are having.
Okay, great. Now, let me, since we are talking about Otumfuo, let me link that to the Otumfuo's visits. We are talking about Asante Hene Otumfuo. He's done a very good yeoman job indeed. But then, I have on my social media handles questions that are flooding in, thick and fast. And we have, yes, this one is called German Burger. What he says that, so what he's saying, German Burger says that, did Otumfuo visit the Bank of Ghana and the police headquarters, and why is he being treated differently from the other paramount chiefs? Is Otumfuo running a parallel government, monarchical government, as to the constitutional presidency? Godfrey, your take on that?
Thank you, Nana. I can say that Otumfuo is not running any parallel government. Whatever he's doing is in line with the constitution. And maybe sometimes people don't even get it. Asantema is a nation on its own before even the independence. Asantema is a nation on its own. So they sometimes do things different as we can see. And his visit to Ghana Police Service, not because of anything, it's because of his position, the immediation impact that he did. And Ghana Police, that's IGP, feels like he's someone that the police has to, in fact, acknowledge him. That's why the Ghana Police Service decided to invite him. And as for his visit at Bank of Ghana, and various past and present government has also said about what Otumfuo always bring on board when it comes to Euro bonds and other IMF bailouts and those kind of. Otumfuo always play a major role when the country is securing for any loans and other stuff. So since he's in Accra, maybe that's why Bank of Ghana decided to also invite him to, at least on his experience and all those kind of, he should just share it too, because he has been our backbone for so many years. Even past and present government has also said it, that without him, the country has not even able to secure other loans and other stuff. So that's why he was invited. Ghana Police basically invited him because of his role to Boko issue and other, and not even Boko.
Why did the Ghana police invite him, or did he wanted to visit there? I think
Nana, it was invite, but you can't say you have invited Otumfuo. Normally, what they normally put out there is that he's just doing a visit. Like,
okay, let me go to what's his name? Teddy, what's your take on this? It's Otumfuo, that this one is coming from Burger, German Burger. Yeah, it says is Otumfuo running a parallel government and also a monarchical government parallel to the constitutional government, and why the visit to Ghana Police and the Bank of Ghana? Teddy.
Well, I think you must look at everything from a historical context. We have to accept some realities.
Yeah, but Teddy.
Let me say.
Teddy, apologize for interjecting. Yeah, we are all learning. I think there's a point I wanted to make with regards to what Godfrey said, that Ashanti is a nation. I think Ashanti used to be a kingdom and a nation of its own, but no more. Under the independency, Ghana has become one country. So Ashanti is not a nation on its own. I think we need to correct that. Okay, Teddy.
Yeah, it's the point is that it's just I'll use how do you call it? For instance, the Pope as an example. You have the Pope and you have the Italian Prime Minister. It's to do with influence and being revered based on history. So the point is you can't throw away the history. It's the history that has made the Otunfo or the Asante King what it is. Everywhere he goes, is the history. For instance, there were many how to call it many paramount chiefs in the country. But when, for instance, when the Queen of Great Britain died, who was called upon? And when to buttress the point made by Godfrey, when
Yeah.
Mahama said he was facing difficulty with the World Bank, who did he call to intervene? There are many paramount chiefs. Why did he pick on Asante? So the point is the history, the past history has made the Asante a pivotal figure. It's something that
So
we you can,
among the chieftaincy in Ghana, we can say is one of the most popular, is one of the most popular ones, isn't it?
I'll use the Latin phrase "primus inter pares," first among equals. Put it that way.
Hey, first among equals, yeah, co-presidency. Okay, Dr. John Mensah, what's your take on that?
Okay, my take on that is similar to that of my senior colleague, Mr. Teddy. If you are going to look at the Ashanti Kingdom before independence and look at the 1800, it was a kingdom and also a nation on its own. If you go to a country like Denmark is an independent sovereign state, but it's a kingdom. And with that rich history of the Ashantis, Otunfo has a different, unique reverence, and the reverence goes beyond the borders of Ghana. During the demise and funeral of Queen Elizabeth, he was invited to play a very key role, and that reverence goes beyond the borders of Ghana. And with that rich history and that reverence, we expect Otunfo to be given that exceptional treatment and welcome at the Bank of Ghana, the police headquarters, and wherever you go in Ghana. So in Nkrumah's wisdom and knowledge, he made Otunfo the permanent president and head of the Ghana House of Chiefs. Yes, and Nkrumah, he made him the permanent president and patron of the Ghana House of Chiefs. And so I think respect should be given to whole respect to Drew, and the history also relates and correlates. So that is going to exist for a long time.
The permanent presidency of the House of Chiefs.
Yes, and Nkrumah, yes.
I think we need to cross-check that story because that point I needed to cross-check because I think
yes, and Nkrumah made him the permanent House of Chiefs until later on after Nkrumah overthrew the Achim Mafia begin to agitate
right,
before.
no problem. We always cross-check and then come back on the platform and the channel to confirm and also rebut because it's all about education, it's all about information, and of course, it's all about enlightenment. Okay, let's quickly look at the flag bearership elections. The 5 candidates for the NPP, the IGP has confirmed sending 70 police officers at each place to make sure there is peace. Kennedy Japan, when he was given the peace agreement to sign, it took a long time and wasn't happy with certain sections. And I'm not sure if some sections were amended or changed. That's why he wasn't happy. This time I want you to go first, Teddy, because you follow these things a lot. Yeah, Teddy.
Yeah, I know this guy has had doubts. He's a disgruntled figure, and my only fear is that will he accept defeat? That's a question. Without creating a scene, that's my only fear. That's my only bone of contention with him. Other candidates will accept defeat and support who wins, but would he? That's my only fear.
Okay. Okay, Godfrey, your take on that.
Thank you, Nana. I think if he will accept the defeat depends on how the election they will organize the election. If the election is free and fair, I think he will accept the defeat. But Nana, we are all aware what happened the previous election when the MPP was in power. It all happened when they have to do a super delegate conference and before the normal conference, because he was believed that was a avenue of rigging the election. And in fact, when everybody is going to an election, they have the adult and other stuff. People have their own favorite and things. But what I believe in that the election should be free and fair, because after all, it's an internal election whereby when it comes to election, every single vote counts, and everyone's supporters also needed. So if my plea is that they should at least, it's an internal election. It should be a free and fair election, so that whoever comes out as a winner, they will all run behind the person, so that the party can have a strong front to 2028.
Okay, let's go to Dr. John Mensah. Doctor.
Okay, thank you for opportunity. Japan took some time to sign, and I think, in my objective view, if a document is actually presented to you, you have that responsibility to read and ensure that you are okay, satisfied before you sign. So if you actually did that, I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you look at the previous economic management led by Baumia and the economic indicators before Jim took over and what Baumia led, I think whoever they're going to elect in end of this month is going to waste money and resources in 2020 and 2032 and beyond. So I wish them all the best, and I wish they organize a free and fair elections, or else Japan or others might not accept, and they should make sure that the elections are under free and fair.
Okay, great. Now, final topic. Let me welcome Lady Nanama. Nanama, are you there? Nanama, have you muted? Okay, Nanama is muted, but once we get there to unmute, we'll welcome her. I think she's unmuted. Lady Nanama.
Good evening.
Evening. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Please, and you?
Hey, the way we have missed you.
I miss people more and more. Like, I'm so sorry. The network, the light out issue.
But Godfrey, Teddy, John Mensah, Doctor, and all the rest, unless I ask them if they will forgive you, because they really miss you so much that I have to be passing excuses and making excuses on your behalf. So, gentlemen, are you going to wave and forgive Lady Nanama?
I think we will leave everything in the hands of my senior brother, that's Teddy, to answer for us.
Hey, we can't leave Teddy alone with Nanama. Teddy is very dangerous. Hey, Teddy, Teddy goes to Ghana a lot too. So as for Teddy, maybe we should leave it in the hands of John Mensah rather.
Oh, for me, I'm okay with it, and I don't see that fault, and I've been the worst offender. I've not been able to make it to this platform, so he's welcome, and let's move along. Francisco, welcome. He's a very beautiful woman among us who have been adding some kind of spices to our program to make it.
Okay, nice one. Nanama. Hey, Utimia with the papa. You see the way I'm pampano. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the final headline that I want us to quickly look at is the reduction of the fuel. Petrol has been reduced. Transportation drivers and taxi drivers not reducing their fares. and why not? And like Godfrey said earlier, the government tried to put some tax forces and police and the army to make sure the prices are reduced. These transport owners refuse. And so, what do you guys think? Let me look at, Doctor, you go.
Okay, if you look at the reduction in the fuel prices, I think it's very encouraging, and your all Ghanaians are very pleased and happy with it. Did it happen? It mostly happened because of the exchange rate, because you buy the price in dollars, and whenever the cedi appreciates against the dollars, it also affects the fuel prices at the pump. That has brought a lot of relief to all Ghanaians. But unfortunately, the drivers and the traders are not actually cooperating with their pricing for it to correspond the government's effort in trying to alleviate the harshness of the people. For example, the current prices drivers are charging is when the petrol was selling at around 14 cedis per liter, and we're selling around 10 cedis, 9.99, and they're still charging that exorbitant prices. To injury. I heard that was I heard on the media. That's a places maybe from Accra Central to Amasama. They don't load. They load from Accra Central to Achimota to Mile 7 to Pokwase, and they extort people. And I think that's unfortunate for us. I think the attitude of Ghanaians.
So, Doc, what do you think? What is the solution to that?
I think there are two solutions. One, the government must deploy security forces to ensure that drivers who do the right thing are charged. And two, the government should also try to introduce buses into it. Whenever we travel outside the country, we see a train system moving up and down underground train buses, and you are still using this structure. It's pity. The government should make a significant, impact in investment into the public transport system. We should get trams, we should get government buses, and that will solve this problem permanently.
Okay, so that okay, Teddy.
I haven't got a clue about it, man.
But Teddy, do you think the Ghanaian African is just wicked by nature?
Of course, we are. Some way.
I see. Okay, Godfrey, you've said it already. Any further point on this particular fuel issue?
Nana, I wanted to know whether Ghanaians we are wicked in nature. Nana, we are very, very wicked in nature. So more times I've been telling people that we shouldn't be saying that Ghana is a Christian country. We are not. We are on maybe someone will say on the face of
so Godfrey, you believe the prices will go up again?
That's what you have been doing, Nana. Yesterday I was at office when I was coming after I closed from office. From Accra Central to where I'm staying. That's Tantra 10 city. Whether you like it or not.
But Godfrey, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the price of the petrol is going down almost 40%.
Nana, because
why don't they reduce it for the people?
Nana, when you talk to them, they will give you other explanations and those kind of. It looks like they have decided not to change. They sometimes they give you excuse that car owners demand whatever, then those kind of things. But as my senior brother said, Doc said, government has to also introduce buses. At least I've been saying it, the buses shouldn't be given to GPRT because these GPRT are the owners of these trotters and other stuff. Government has to find a private business, give them the buses to run. I think that one will be more effective than giving the buses to GPRTs. As I said last week, the reason why the Ayalolo is not working effectively is that government at that time gave all these buses for GPRT to run the business, and they don't want any competition because they own this structure and those kind of. So Nana, all what I can say is that government has to come in. I think when they come in with this buses and other stuff, the drivers, the truck drivers will advise themselves. Other than that, they will continue to charge us like the way they want at any time.
Okay, I'm trying to run this thing up. We've done very well indeed. Any of you, can any, Coffee has said that the Lumba didn't leave a will. I haven't got a wind of it from the High Court. Anybody can confirm that aside Godfrey?
If you don't have it, I will send it to you. I have the statement from
Okay,
Accra
I
High
need to
Court.
have that statement to verify.
Yes, I have the statement from Accra High
And
Court.
then, Godfrey, have you got any quick, brief view with the hula baloo that's going on between the Lumba issue?
Nana, it has. I sometimes don't want to discuss these issues on.
Okay, all right.
Long
Let me
radio,
just.
but it's good that now it looks like a lot of people and these legal wives are happy with the court decision coming out with to tell Ghanaians that Luma didn't leave any will, because that's what a lot of people were worried about, because the other team were also saying that there was a will. So for the court to come out with
Teddy,
I think it's
any view on that?
step.
Let's move on quickly. Teddy, any view on that?
I've no idea about that at all. I've no
Okay.
idea.
Okay, Dr. J.
Okay, similar to what Godfrey said, I read that in the news that the High Court later released that Lombard didn't leave a will. So let's look at what the law says if he died intestate.
Okay, all right. So great show. Let's go to Nanama.
Eja.
Yeah, Nana.
Eja.
Can you give us any brief summary of what you have got quickly?
I just want to add up to the transport issue.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't know why Ghanaians are somehow blaming police. They say police should also come in a whole lot. I don't understand, fellow Ghanaian. Because when fuel prices increase, even when it is just announced that maybe we are in January, it's announced that on February 1st it's going to be increased, or even increase first, transport first before fuel prices even increase. But once it has reduced, instead of them reducing it, that's turned to something else. When you go and say, they will tell you that we are using it to do maintenance. They always have excuses. Nana, can you believe that right now we have light out? I know this is not part of the thing, but I don't understand. It's like our area is not part of Accra.
Oh yeah.
It will
Light
be part
out
of Accra very soon.
right now, light out. Network issue to very poor. Like, I don't understand.
All right. We are so sorry to hear that. And we, as a channel and a platform, we're going to push the government in power to answer to some of these things. We need to hold government accountable. Yes, so we are so grateful for all you guys. Let me thank my social media handle guests that have been with us. Sarilyn, we thank you. I cannot mention all your names. Rose Baden, thank you. Franca 15, we thank you. Nanekia, Emily, Georgina Kofi, Mary Opo, Blue Boy, Osufuman Sare, the Glammy family. I mean, we are so grateful to you. Thank you so much. Our social media handles. Don't forget, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course the TikTok. And so I'd like to thank our they say ladies first, but she's the only lady among us. So let's go to the gentleman, and we'll give her a grand close opportunity for her to do the closing remarks. So let me go with my learned colleague in the person of Godfrey Asante Eje. Godfrey, final word?
Okay, and as I said, I've sent you the statement from Accra High Court on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
Now,
you very much.
what I will say is that if you're a leader and you have been given position, you are not there by your own.
Mm.
You are working for the people. So what the people feels is what you should always be your concern.
Mm.
So whoever has been given a position, you should remember that the concerns of the people has to be heard. And this is what I can say.
Okay. Let's go to Teddy.
Well, it's a tricky issue, isn't it? Because the moment you bring in the police, it becomes chaotic and what have you. I think there should be a consensus of opinion between the transport union and the government to come to a conclusion. I think that's the only way forward.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Dr. J.
Okay, Mr. Godfrey made a statement that Ghanaians are very bad people and you are not a Christian nation. The typical average Ghanaian will not do the right thing unless you force him to do the right thing. That's a typical of Ghanaians. So let's government introduce maybe a price control mechanism even for traders and the tractor drivers. And they are being forced to do it with the security forces. They will not do the right thing. They always try to rip off the people and extort the people to their own selfish interest at the detriment of the masses. That's it. Thank you.
And finally, our beautiful Nana Ama. Yes, Nana.
I don't understand why you should be forced to do the right thing. Are you an animal? Even animals, Nana is too much. Oh, imagine you want to go to Accra. From my Sapema to Accra, it's supposed to be like 10 cedis, but they will take shots. Like, oh God.
I think,
Before you
do
get to
you, do you
Accra,
think,
you spend more than 30 cedis. Well, the thing is just 10 cedis. When you are coming and you are late, that one day you are dead. Like, you're a dead person. It's just too much. It's too. You don't need to be forced. You know the right thing. So you always be in debt. They be because the money you're getting is not like it's not a good income source in your papa. So you always have problems and faults. There's one thing human beings you've not realized. So the man say you ubi na ubu no ubi more than that. Like not
okay,
the yeah.
okay. Thank you so much, Nanama. You guys have been wonderful. Our social media handles, our special guests across the globe, worldwide. We thank you so much for this edition. Once again, thank you so much. We are all watching Voice of London television with a feed to Voice of London radio. My name is Osagyefo. We'll come by once again, God willing, tomorrow and every other day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Meet you tomorrow. Miss you.
Screw ended, yeah? Well, finish up.